Hey guys, and welcome back to Sins Feeding the Beast. This is episode 7, and today I've got a few things I want to do. I've made some changes. I've made this room a bit bigger, and I've put in some energy conduits. So I'm going to go through how to make that and how to make this energy cell and redstone energy cell, which holds power, as you can see here. Because I've had a few exploding parts. I've literally just replaced one here. So it's now filling up. I'm now sending power, but yeah, it's been a real big pain, because if I walk away, this despawns and stuff like that, the pipes do explode and it's really annoying. But first of all, I want to go through. I think I've made wrong one. I think I've made some overclockers before, but I haven't shown how to get through how to make them actually. So to make this 10k coolant cell, you just need a water bottle. I've just been using water bottles, and then just put a tin around it, and that gives you one cell there. And then we come back out to here, and you place electronic circuits with the coolant cells and copper cables. So I'm going to need another, what is that? That's 20 or 18. Oops, wrong button. Another 18 of those, and that's what these project tables are great for, as I've shown you many times before. And pick the right one again. Okay. So we go like that, and bam. Oh, okay. Maybe I didn't have as many as I thought. That's alright. So what I'll do is I'll just chuck these in here and we'll go along. Okay guys, so as you can see, I'm going to come down here. I have changed up a few things. I haven't filled in the gap yet, but I've definitely changed a few things down here. As you see, there's a lot of cobble here, and I didn't originally dig this out. I accidentally, as I was building this transformer arrangement here, I built a line between here and then my power was coming down here. So essentially this power, which is 128 out of the MFEs here, as it says here, 128, that was coming down and hitting this power. So essentially bypassing the transformer blocks, and it was going along the pipes, and I lost 3 industrial centrifuges, a blast furnace, and an extractor. So that was kind of painful. And I don't plan on doing it again anytime soon, but at least I learned from my mistake. Don't touch it. I wish I'd sort of caught that on camera because it would have been good to show. As you can see, I've got 2 industrial centrifuges here, just spinning lava, which is great. And I've got a few things upstairs which I'm doing in terms of, I guess I can show you this over here. This is where all the lava is going to come from. If you can have a look up here, this is a liquiduct, which is part of the thermal expansion mod, which is the same thing as the redstone energy cell and the redstone energy conduit, I think something like that. Essentially, I'm going to bring the lava down here, and the lava is going to come out and then go over to the industrial centrifuges there. But again, that's something I'm still working on. So I'll come back to that in another episode. I was just sort of planning that out in my head. What I wanted to do today was I want to start building. I want to get an MFSU going. So we can get some pretty exciting stuff going. So as you can see, I've got some sapphires here. You can make it with diamonds, but it's a lot cheaper to use sapphires essentially. And each, I guess let's have a quick look at what we're making here. So we're making a Lapotron crystal that's what we're currently making. We need an advanced circuit, an MFE, and an advanced machine block. That just reminds me, I don't actually have an MFE. Okay, so I need all those stuff. Alright guys, I'll be back with you in just a second once I've got all those materials. Okay guys, now I'm back so I can continue to make that. So what I'm going to make is I'm going to make the Lapotron crystals first. And there we go, as you can see we've got 6, so we'll get rid of all that lapis because we don't need that anymore in the table. We're going to make our MFE now. So to make the MFE, you surround a ruby. You can also do it with a diamond like I've said before, but again that's very costly, so I'd suggest not doing it. Oops, I forgot to grab some rubber. Poop, it's upstairs, isn't it? That's always the one thing. Rubber is the one thing you need infinite amounts of, and you never have enough. I think 16 should be enough for this endeavor at least. So yes, going back to this, so we're making an MFE here, so we need these gold cables, the insulated gold cables. Oops, I made too many, but I'm going to need them for another thing later on. So as you can see, you make the first one and then you make the second one. You can also do it like that. Oh, I don't have it, but essentially, if you have a normal gold cable here, you can put 2 like this, and it makes it straight to the 2 ins gold cable, 2 times insulated. That means. Oh, okay, so that was a bit too much, so I'll just store that there for later. Now we have that. We need to build a. Actually, we need to build a few of these today. So what I might do is I'm just going to build all the machine blocks at once because it just saves me time. And then to build the MFE, we place all of our energy crystals around like so, and then the gold to allow power to come through them, and that gives us our MFE. And obviously we have a lot more already, so that's just pulling stuff from the inventory. Now we'll go back to here. We need to build an advanced machine block, and I need to grab an advanced circuit. I already have one here, so that's okay. And as you can see that there, I'm doing pretty well with materials, and it's all going very fast. So for the advanced machine block, we have some carbon plate and some advanced plate. Again, it doesn't matter which way you place these; it still will produce it. And that menu. Whoops, no, that's the wrong button there. This you can see here. Yeah, there's two versions of that. It's not unshaped. Sorry, shapeless crafting, but it has, you can put it in both ways and it's fine. Okay, guys. So now we're going to put the MFE there, the advanced machine block, and the advanced circuit, and then to get the real power, we want to do the Lapron crystals, and bam, we have a MFSU. It is pretty amazing. It holds 10 million power, and that's pretty amazing. Now I'm going to put it up here so it's just out of the way, and that little orange dot, I don't know if I talked about it before, but that's where power comes out, and that's where, again, essentially that's where you have to be careful about what you're outputting to. Now, let's have a look. My thoughts are going to be, I'm going to build some more diamond pipe, sorry, some glass fiber cable, and I'm going to use that to make it. So I'm using Electrum now because I have Electrum, and it essentially gives you the most diamond pipe. And from what I know is, I think diamond pipe can take up to 2048 or something like that, or at least I know they can at least take 512 current. So that's one good thing. And as you can see there, they create 8 each, so that's where the 16 comes from. And we'll go straight up. I know this is a sort of a long roundabout way of doing it, but whoops. But it's just the easiest in this sort of setup at the moment. So now any power that I generate, obviously if there's any power in this, it will go into that. So as you can see, it has 10 million EU, and it will create. What I probably will do is I'll probably remove this and remove the bat box, and all the power is going to go into the MFSU, and then the power will come down into these once I build a transformer, because if I don't have any transformers, we'll have the same sort of things we did before, and it's going to explode. So to build the transformers, we have the machine block as before, and we have the 2-ins gold cable, and they create those. So they are quite cheap, and that's the good thing about them, but they definitely are extremely useful, and you have to be mindful about where you're placing them. Obviously, I should have brought a wrench with me, because now I'm thinking about it, I don't have a wrench. So because the power has to go in to the top, or has to go in to the three dot side, which is the high voltage, and comes out the lower voltage side. From floor. I keep forgetting which floor I'm on. And I can use the prototype on my wrench, so that is great. Actually, I wonder if I have any more cable up here as well. Whoops, try one more time. I just turned around the chest instead of opening it. Okay, I'll leave one in there just because I like to have a a holding position there. So we'll leave that as it is. And then, so wherever you click on, whichever face you click on, will bring the side of the transformer. So if you shift click it, it'll actually go to the opposite side. Shift click or sneak click, I think it's best referred as. So if I'm up here, I just normal click it, and that works fine. So what I'm planning to do here is I'm just going to go that one there, and we'll come back and come down, and there we go. Now all I have to do now is quickly join the two together like that, and have I got enough? Actually no, I will, because I'm going to take that out and I'm going to put that like this. So at the moment all that's going to be coming out is 128 out of each face. So essentially, this will be outputting was it 256 EU a tick, which is fine because nothing here. These two here pull 156, so 128 each. So I could probably put another one or two in, but for the moment it doesn't really matter. I suppose I could save power by pulling it into the top of these ones, which I might do. But the problem I risk the problem the problem I risk is that these wires will touch these wires. But I think it's all 128 now anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'm not sure if these can take in above 128. I'll probably check that on the wiki, but I'm not ready to risk it at least at the moment. So let's pull out some of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, good. So we'll start chucking in here. So as you can see, I've made a few more generators, so I can now output at about 60 EU a tick, which is pretty good. It's pretty decent. It's not the highest I can get, but it's definitely pretty darn high. And I'll leave that. Oh, I'll show you. I'll show you over here and have a quick look at what's happening up here. So as you can see, there we go. So this is charging, but it's pulling power out to charge these ones right here. So those ones are pretty full. That one's half full. This one should be pretty full. Okay, so obviously it needs to fill up this one first before it will start filling up the MFSU, but it essentially gives me a huge buffer. It's 10 million EU versus the, well, I've got 4 here, so 4 is 2.4 million at the moment, but these suck a lot of power. Like this pulls out 128 EU a tick, and to bring down this bauxite dust. As I can show you, I've got more bauxite dust here, which I'll chuck in, and then the whole reason I'm doing a lot of bauxite dust is to get the titanium, because titanium is extremely useful in GregTech, especially for the more advanced machines. So I'm chucking all my aluminium in there, all my my titanium dust in there, and then all my other cells in here. Obviously, you can just empty these compressed cells quite easily by just what do you call it? By just putting them in your inventory. Actually, I can probably show you. It's probably easier. You I always forget which button it is. There we go. So you can just put it in your thing, and it'll become an empty cell. You can also extract it, but I don't know why you would extract it if you can just empty it. So as you might see here, I've got hydrogen cells, compressed mercury cells. So these are what I'll be using with ferrous ore to get platinum, so I can get more iridium, and also the platinum plates. Lithium cells here, so I can use these to make lithium batteries, but I don't have enough now to make it, nor would I have had enough. Oh no, sorry, I would have had enough to make the MFE with it, but I'll make another one later when I have a bit more of that. So you've got sodium cells and silicon cells. So this is also one thing I want to get to today. I want to get through to making solar panels. So what I'll do is I'll start by refining these down. So you have your silicon cells here, and what you do is you put that in a blast furnace, and it uses 2 at a time, and it'll make some silicon plate, and it'll give you back the empty cells. So that's pretty awesome. I'm pretty happy about that. Now I'm just going to chuck these overclockers in here while I'm thinking about it. Oops, and you can only put 4 in at a time. So whoops, try again. And there you go. So we've got all those there. Now I don't know if I didn't discuss this very well before, but I was just talking about it while I was talking. About other stuff. So essentially, I've got my LV transformers here, and they have 5 output faces and 1 input face. So I've connected all 5 output faces to a glass fiber cable. So essentially, of the 128 coming in, I can use what is it? If I only had 1 MFE connected to this, I could use 4 faces, but because I have more than one, I can pull from all 5 faces and essentially pull 5 packets of 32 through each of these, and that's great. So it means I have 10 times 32. So I essentially pull 320 EU at 32 EU a tick, if that makes sense. So I can run these machines at full. I can pretty much run every machine at full. So that's what that's there for. If we come over here and have a quick look, so there you go. We've got our silicon plate and got 2 empty cells. So you can take the empty cells back now and just put them straight back in here. And this does use up a lot of cells. So this hydrogen cell, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet, but I probably will do without something. I probably will figure out something to do with that pretty soon. So let's chuck these away while I'm thinking about it, and we'll continue on. So to build a solar cell, solar helps if I spell solar. There we go. So we need a generator, some carbon plates, and some electronic circuits and some glass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go away. I'm going to get the materials for the generator, and I'm going to come back when I have enough silicon plates as well. As you see, it takes 2 silicon plates per solar panel, and it is quite expensive. For the 1 EU a tick, but then when you get up towards the advanced ones and then the hybrid and then the ultimates, they become very worthwhile, but they become very expensive, especially for this bit right here, which is the sonoranium alloy and UV matter and all that sort of stuff. Alrighty guys, I'll be back in just a tick. Okay guys, now I'm back. So I've got a few materials. I need to make I need to make a few things actually. Before we get started, I need to make some furnaces, and then I'll need to make some iron furnaces. Now you can make this straight without having to make everything else. So you can make an iron furnace with iron, but it costs more iron. It costs the full 8 iron rather than just the 5. So I'd prefer to use the stone because the stone is cheaper. that's the only reason I prefer to do it that way. So as you can see, I'll put one in there. I know I don't have the exact numbers here, but I only have 6 silicon plates because my whole setup used, so the whole of those 6 used up all of the all of my power in these, and I've just turned it off. As you see, I've just broken that so that this will charge up. And as you see, it says insufficient energy line because it started to make the next one, but it couldn't do it because there wasn't enough power, and because these take 128 per silicon plate, per silicon cell. It's a lot of power. It's a lot of power. So getting back to this, so now we have our generators. That's great. We have our silicon plates. We have our carbon plates. We just need some glass panels now. So we'll make some glass panels. That should be enough for pretty much ever. So we have 3 of those. We have 2 of those. Oops, they're the wrong spot. A generator in the middle, a carbon plate in the middle, and the silicon plates on either side. And there we go, our solar panel. So as I said before, these only produce 1 EU a tick, which is essentially 20 EU a second, which is alright, but it's not the best in the world. And we'll have to improve that later on with those advanced ones, but that will require a bit more of iridium. So I'm trying to get sort of my matter fabricator working. Obviously, it's going to take a lot of power original to start up and get going, but once it's going and ready, then we'll start building everything else. So what I'm just going to do now, I'm going to build, whoops, wrong one. I'm going to build some more cable because I've mapped out where I want to put the rest of, or where I want to put the rest of these while they're being made. So an extra 32, and it's not up that way. It's actually just up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to build it from up here because it's a lot easier to get around going down than it is up. Oops, there we go. So as you can see, we'll just come straight up here, up, and then if I can, actually no, I can do, I can try to be really tricky and go bam, nope, bam. I thought I could be tricky there and do it, but it doesn't look like I can, so I'm just going to do a little bit cheeky way and do it this way. I don't know why I couldn't do that, I was having a lot of trouble. Let's remove that one there, because once I'm here I can just jump up and, oops, I'm not having good luck at all. There we go. And so, yep. So what I've done here is I've mined out a whole area here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place all these like so, and that way there's plenty of room for my solar panels. I'll get rid of that for now. And here we go. So I've got my 3 solar panels now, and you go bam, bam, and bam. And they face upwards towards the sun, and if they've got this little thing here that's glowing yellow, that means they're getting power, and you can chuck stuff in there to be powered, like a, oh, maybe that won't go in because it isn't, it's too advanced for that. You can only put basic machines in there, I suppose. Okay, so that's our solar panels, and this is our solar array, and they need sunlight to get it. So if you look up, if you can't see sunlight, then, well, it's not going to work. So if I wanted to put some here, I'd have to remove these leaves. Oop, it's a long time to get out of there. Yeah, so essentially that is perfect for our needs. Obviously, you can't complain about getting free power from the sun. It only works. These ones only work during the day. So yeah, this is something else I'll go into at a later date. But it's something that I'm looking forward to building. Sort of the automation of the farms. So as you can see there, we've got a nice power going down, and we should just come down here and check that it's going in. Though I've got these running anyway, so yeah, actually no, I can break that for the second, and we'll break that one for a second. There we go. We've got nothing running off them anyway, so as you can see, there we go. We're getting sort of, that should be 60 EU a second from the 3 solar panels. So that's pretty good. Obviously, it could be better, and it will be better when I have sort of all 16 running and everything else like that. So I'm pretty happy about how this is going so far. Oops, a little bit of lag issues in terms of I play something and it doesn't place. I'm not sure why, but that's just how it works. Okay, guys, now I've just checked the episode length so far, and it's about 20 minutes, and I'm pretty happy with that. I was going to go off and do some redstone energy conduits, but I'll do that in the next episode. I'm just a bit short on time today, so I want to get this uploaded quite soon. Alright, guys, well, have a good day. Hope you liked the video, and hope you like what I've done with sort of the solar panels and just a few other things today. And yeah, so if you want to leave a comment, tell me what I'm doing wrong, right, or anything like that. And if you want to see more videos, please subscribe to my channel, guys. And otherwise, have a good day, guys. Send out.